Hello, everybody. Welcome to
What just
episode.
happened?
Oh, are we gone?
No,
Nope.
we're here. We are
Okay.
totally here.
Listen, with the apparently Fight TV's issues are coming over here to our our
Oh
show.
my gosh, it's so weird. I got a whole it was like, oh, that's the thing. You're delayed. It's like, shut up. Okay.
So, as I was trying to say, this is episode 8 of Powerbombshells, where two broads chat about the wrestling we're watching. We're a little, well, we're live, which is obviously not something we typically do, but we're a little late because New Japan Riot ran a little bit late, and then we were having some technical difficulties, but I think we're under control now. We're going to try to keep this to not too long, just because there was a lot going on, and it's late our time, and so we don't want to keep you guys too long. But so hopefully you enjoyed the New Japan Windy City Riot show. There was a lot of good stuff that happened, for other than the stream, which was terrible, and I don't know why Fight keeps having these issues, but uh, yeah, it was something.
That's really bad for obviously for momentum and things, but I mean, it really felt. I felt a little bit like they decided that they weren't convinced that all of us North Americans were necessarily going to buy the pay per view. We were going to wait. And I
Listen, if you
mean,
put Jon Moxley on a live card, most Americans are gonna buy it.
and then you
And
keep
you have Suzuki on it. Come on.
Suzuki Ishii, who's very, very, very popular with the kids these days, and
Yeah,
myself. I mean, who doesn't love a stone pitbull?
right.
But I
Exactly.
mean,
I do.
so I know what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have to go back and actually watch it when they
Yeah,
do drop it on New Japan World,
same.
because of some of the stuff that happened, which we'll
Right.
get to.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to. It cut, and this thing cut out at like the worst possible time, like later in the show. Which I mean, it sucked like throughout, but like the one thing that it really sucked was one of the big surprises that happened towards the end, and it was like the worst time for it to cut out. But so I guess so. Do you want to go ahead and get into this, or do we want to touch on the other thing real quick?
Let's hit the AEW Battle of the Belts
Okay.
situation real
Yeah.
quick, just because we're reacting on the night of the thing, and this
Right.
is going to be this week. So
Yeah.
you go first.
Yeah, so with Battle of the Belts, I wasn't, because I had already been planning on watching this for a couple of weeks when this was announced, and then obviously the show Battle of the Belts was taped last night after Rampage, which was why Rampage was live last night. And so I had heard that there was some things that people were going to be really pissed off about once they found out. I tried to avoid spoilers, but somebody in the Fight Game Media Slack pretty much gave it away with a comment that they made.
Guys.
So I get what they were saying though, and I think based on what we saw and then that comment makes sense. So if you haven't watched Battle of the Belts yet, mute us. Come
Yeah.
back in a few minutes because
Spoilers.
we're about to spoil it, and it's the very first match. So the very first match was Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship. It is in Sammy Guevara's home state. They booed him a lot. They chanted Sammy sucks a lot. I don't think Sammy was supposed to be the heel, but putting his real life girlfriend as his on screen girlfriend has not worked out well. Which people have made the comments that those are the things that aren't working in NXT, is the relationship angles that they keep doing, and a lot of the fans get turned off by that because they don't work and they're dumb. And then AEW just came in to the exact same thing. I don't know if it's because they had that they've done a few real life couple of things, because my sister and I were talking about how, like, when it's Penelope and Kip, like, they don't get any. Well, when Kip was on TV and not wearing a box on his head, Kip was not really. He was never really in the way. She was same with when Penelope was with him. Blade and Bunny they come out together with AFO, but they don't interfere in each other's matches, so they handle it pretty well. And then so right off the bat, it was not looking good. And Taya was there. Uh, Ethan Page left for a little bit, came back out. And then, of course, Dan Lambert and his big mouth had to come out there. There were some shenanigans. There was Scorp had hold of the ropes, and Ty interfered and kind of pushed him off the ropes, which led to the confrontation with Paige Van Zant coming down, and her and Ty getting into it on the outside, which led to Sammy being able to steal the victory. And Sammy is now, what is this, 4th time? I feel like this is like the 4th time he's won this title, which I don't necessarily mind. But
one of them was interim, I guess.
Right. So I like Sammy Guevara a lot.
I do too.
I'm a fan of his. I think he's a fantastic wrestler. He's had some incredible matches. He's done really well. But I don't understand why he would build Scorpio Sky where he doesn't lose in over a year. He defends the title one time, and then he loses.
Thank you.
And that's the thing that I'm pissed about the most, is because Scorpio Sky deserves better. Scorpio Sky, and early on, even after he, like, obviously with the SCU stuff, he was primed in bigger spots, but then it seemed like, they were kind of priming him to be champion. And I tweeted a while back, and actually when he won this title, I went and found that tweet, but I tweeted that he would be AEW World Champion within 12 to 18 months. I was sort of right. It was TNT Championship, and I think it was 13 months, but still. Or no, maybe it was 19 months. I can't remember. But so Scorpio Sky is somebody who can carry a title. He's great on the mic. He's super charismatic. He's great in the ring. He doesn't need Dan Lambert. He can do all these things by himself. And so yeah, that's the big thing. And I'll get to why I think this happened, but I want to let you kind of weigh in on what your thoughts about this.
My biggest problem is they continue to sort of like, I don't care about the TNT title that much. I don't like that, because I do and I don't. It's like, yes, Sammy's won it a few times. Cody won it 3 times, but in case you missed it, like, he's not with the product anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I want to care about the TNT title more.
Right, but especially because Tony has always said this title is on the same level as the AEW World Champion title. Right. And now look at it. And I think some of it probably is because Cody left and it kind of threw their plans haywire, but you would think it seemed like they were building Scorpio up to have a long title run, or at least a 6-month title run.
But it's not what happened. And so it's like, okay, well, I've got the one guy who won it 3 times. He's gone, and that's fine. I can get around that. I've got Sammy who's won it a few times now. 3 times. But I don't know. I don't feel confident they're going to do much with him with it. It's almost like I care almost more about the TBS title than I do about the TNT title. And it's not necessarily as hard. They haven't pushed it as hard necessarily, but by giving it to somebody who's grown and is such a huge personality as Jade. At first I thought I was going to kind of hate that. Mm-hmm. Now I like the way that they're handling the TBS title better than they're handling the TNT title.
I would agree with that.
And I'm more excited to see who takes the belt off of her right now at this moment than whatever would have happened tonight. And then, you find out a lot of like what happened tonight and all these other things. And I love both of them. And I do think that they can be valuable. I think maybe the relationship angle, the extra added sort of like Dan Lambert versus
Dan Lambert wearing the damn title, like Tony Schiavone was like, he shouldn't be wearing it, and I was like, thank you, Tony Schiavone.
Thank you, Tony Schiavone.
Thank you for saying that. So I was like, that might be the one positive that comes out of this. But so Ryan in the Fight Game Media made the comment last night that he wonders if the reason it happened the way that it did was because this was supposed to be Brandy and Paige Van Zant, and because Cody left, Brandy left, Paige was left with nothing, so they just plugged Ty in, and then they put, maybe Cody was originally going to win, the title from from Scorpio Sky tonight. And so they just put Sammy in that spot. And I was like, I guess that's kind of why they did maybe went the real life couple route, because we had Cody and Brandy. Cody, I mean, well, Cody too had obviously was getting heat on him, but Brandy had a lot of people that did not like her when the whole Chicago thing happened. When they brought Paige Van Zant, they were saying they treated Brandy terribly. That Chicago crowd did. They were awful to her. The whole thing was just awful. And so I don't know if so they have to have something for Paige to do. It's not Paige's fault that, Cody and Brandy left. So
No.
I think they had to try to do something. So I think this was the plan all along, except for it was Cody and Brandy probably. I still don't think that even if it was Cody and Brandy, Cody should not have been the one to take the title off of Scorpio after one title defense. So either way, whatever the situation was, Scorpio should not have lost the title. When Cody left, they should have just been like, okay, well then Scorpio's going to have the title for a while and we'll figure out how to get Paige and Ty doing something else. And I was like, they could have just had Sammy feud with Ethan Page or something and then let Scorpio keep the title. I don't know. I try to trust AEW. They're generally pretty good about following through with things and making the best of situations. But then we also saw at the end of Dynamite what happened this week with Satnam Singh. They completely blew his debut, in which Tony obviously has taken responsibility for, which is a good thing, and he should. And I felt really bad for Satnam because this isn't his fault that they put him in, they put him in this situation. And I had Battle of the Belts on after that, but I wasn't really paying attention. I recorded it to go back and watch later. So I did see that they brought Satnam back out tonight. They had Sanjay and Jay Lethal back out there as well. So hopefully they can, salvage that and it doesn't hurt Satnam too much. But now they've got 2 back-to-back stories that are not hitting with the fans. And so they've got to fix it and they've got to figure out how to fix it and fast. They're generally, it took them a while with not Nightmare Factory, but the thing that Brandy was in with Mel and Luther and all of that stuff. They, it took them a while because fans kept complaining like, this isn't working. And they finally scrapped it. They finally scrapped Cody versus Anthony Ogogo. So hopefully they either figure out a way to salvage this real quick or they're going to have to scrap it.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Yeah. So we just wanted to at least get that out of the way. And so I'm sure the other matches were great. I look forward to going back and watching them because I love Jonathan Gresham and Dalton Castle. Obviously,
that's right. Yes.
and
I heard that that Dalton Castle got like the
original boy
treatment. So
and he got
excited for it.
Yeah, I saw when they had the graphic up. I missed it the first time, and then I went back and looked and saw that he had the Tate twins, who are his original boys. He got them back, so I was very glad that he had that and I did see his entrance, and he did. And actually, I missed something that I actually missed the ending of the first match on Riot because I was looking at Dalton Castle.
You're like, Dalton Castle.
Yeah. Huge Dalton Castle
I can understand that. Yeah, I would have expected no less.
Yeah,
I know you're very excited.
Yeah, I was very excited, and I was like, okay. I was like, I moved the iPad because I was like, I'm not going to be able to focus on the show if I can see what's happening, and I had to get rid of it. And then I definitely want to see Thunder Rosa versus Nyla as well. So,
which is as much as I could catch because unfortunately my TNT app decided that I wasn't subscribed anymore to it.
Fantastic!
So I went to my DirecTV app, which lets me watch live TV, and that's where I watched the rest.
Yeah, I was watching on. Yeah, I had it on through DirecTV's app too. So yeah, all kinds of app issues. But so we will switch gears for most of you who are probably here watching this, or probably here for Windy City Riot stuff, and that is what we are here for. So the opening match for this was the Factory, the aforementioned Factory that I was just talking about. So apparently they're also not Nightmare Factory anymore. They are just the Factory, I guess, because Cody's gone. The Nightmare's gone. The Nightmare has, and I didn't mean it that way, but
and you can take that what you want. I think is where we're at.
Whatever you want to take from that. So the Nightmare has left the building, and it's just the Factory, which is QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, and Aaron Solo, and they've wrestled some of La Dojo, which was Uemura, Carl Fredericks, and Clark Connors. because if you missed New Japan Strong a few weeks ago, uh, Factory showed up, talked trash about Shibata.
About Shibata, you don't talk trash about Shibata to Shibata's boys.
No, and then thought it was a good idea to offer Carl Fredericks a spot. Carl basically laughed in his face. Let his hands do some talking, and that's what led to this match tonight. So the venue kept losing signal when this was it missed like some of the entrance, it missed parts of the match. Like there was one part Frederick had I think it was QT in the corner and was just like raining down right hands, and then it was like venue signal lost, and I was like, Carl Fredericks, your right hands are too strong.
He smacked the signal right off of the audio.
Yeah. So what did you think
off
of
the video?
Yeah, what did you think of this one?
That one was breaking up really bad for me.
Okay, well
but,
then,
I mean, I was able to catch like Carl doing a lot of Carl stuff, and I mean, I'm a big LA Dojo guy for the guys there, so I was very much like, yeah.
Yeah,
but I did actually think that it was a good match, and I thought that the Factory actually like showed up for things so that they were,
which is good. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch that. And like I said, the Factory did win that match, but I missed how they won it because I was watching Dalton Castle. And so sorry about that, guys.
I was really, really, really unhappy about that because a lot of those guys were only wrestling on the sort of undercard portion of the thing.
Right, and that was the one thing about New Japan with this show. They sure crammed in a lot. I remember thinking at one point it felt like a New Japan show, as in like when there's a big New Japan show, they usually have like several, like they have the Young Lions, they have tag match, like multi-man tag matches is what I was trying to get to, and so it kind of felt like that. And so the next match was Team Filthy, and they minus Tom Lawler because he had a match later on. Then he wrestled Chris Dickens, or not he didn't wrestle all of them. Team Filthy wrestled Chris Dickinson, Josh Alexander, Alex Coughlin, Ren Narita, and Fred Rosser, who has no hair.
Which there was a whole deal about it.
Yeah.
Fred Rosser's hair, oh my god, it's Tom. And
because I wasn't paying attention. I just happened to see at the beginning when they were all standing there, and I was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, it's Fred Rosser.
There was something about it online. They were all messing around with each other, I think, and it ended up being something that they did.
Nice.
So as an addition to the fact that Fred Rosser just wants a piece of the Filthy Tom, really.
He does. He really wants a piece, and Tom Lawler is having none of it.
Keep going. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep sending my boys out here after.
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah, there was some crazy stuff, like Alex Coughlin did a vertical suplex on freaking JR Kratos. I was like, all right, that's big strong boy.
Yeah, because we got JR Kratos in there, and it was nice to see Josh Alexander in there.
Josh Alexander. Oh yeah, because he hit that who was it? And he put somebody on the apron, the hardest part of the ring. That made me laugh because Matt said on the hardest part of the ring, as if you've never heard that before. Which was great. And also there was no Alex Kozlov on commentary tonight to tell me that which Black Tiger this was. That's right.
This was Black Tiger. Yeah. So we were texting back and forth trying to figure out which Black Tiger it could possibly.
It is a mystery. There was nobody there to tell me.
Sorry, guys.
I do not know.
Could have been 8. We just we can't confirm.
We cannot confirm or deny. We just know it wasn't Rocky Romero.
Check the Fight Game Media website. We have a couple of people who might know.
And then and then Kratos did that insane dive, like, and just dove on everybody.
Large man, doing dives, which I mean, big Jeff Cobb fan, big Kratos fan. So
So that was fun, but Kratos was he was all over the place in that match, and so so the other team, not Team Phil, do the other team, do they have a name? I don't think they do. Do they?
Do, and I wrote it down, and then of course
I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down in my notes, but that not Team Filthy one that match. So I thought I wrote their name because it's not like Team New Japan, right? They have
No, it's something else, and I
should know this as much as I've been watching Strong lately, but for some reason it is not in my brain queue.
It's not clicking. We'll tweet it at you guys.
Yeah.
We'll tweet it.
But so since Team Filthy did not win, Tom Lawler decided he was just going to come on down there, and he was incensed, and his match was happening anyway with Yuji Nagata, so he was in his amazing gear. Of course, there's always a Tom Lawler short jorts appreciation on this podcast and in my timeline because I love that outfit. It's phenomenal. But so Yuji Nagata, the 53-year-old who does his best, decided.
Don't get down on Blue Justice.
No, I love Nagata.
I was very, very excited about it. He even cut the promo in English. Mm-hmm. He was like, "I'm gonna kick your ass." I was like, "I'm here for this."
Yes,
he did a few exploders on the mat, man.
He did. Like, yeah, and he was like,
whoa.
Yeah, he's like, if this is going to be a title match, which he ended up making, that's what the promo was about. Was like, he was coming for the strong open weight championship because it was originally non-title, and Nagata was like, oh no, this is a title match. And then he made it feel like a title match with these exploders that he was doing all over the place. I was like, he is really the best 53-year-old. He's fantastic. And the fans were super into him. The fans love Nagata.
I think he likes to be there still. Even after this song, he's another one where you're just like, yeah, he still loves it, and so he still got it.
Yeah, and he looked great. The match was a lot of fun, and I know apparently at one point they were talking about how Tom Lawler's ear got busted open because he has the cauliflower ear, and Nagata hit him and busted it. So, but Lawler won with a rear naked choke, which, surprise, surprise. Then he was being disrespectful as hell afterwards because he was standing on the turnbuckles doing the Nagata salute, and then he did the Nagata dance because he's an asshole. It was funny, but he's an asshole. He's Tom Lawler being Tom Lawler.
It's worth it. It's worth every second.
Yeah, so that was fun. I enjoyed that. He still doesn't want anything to do with Fred Rosser. So then the next match was a freaking 12-man match.
Yeah.
Because it's like NWO, there's like 88 members in each of these factions. And this one, so in the United Empire was Aussie Open, which I have seen like once or twice before they were in New Japan. I saw them. I can't remember where I watched them at, but I have a friend, Kiefer, who is a huge Aussie Open fan. So it was them, TJP, Aaron Hanare, Jeff Cobb, and the greatest O-Khan.
He is the greatest.
And I'm pretty sure that he got a really big pop when he came out, as he should. The man is a literal hero. He should get big pops everywhere he goes. I don't care if he's heel or face. You always cheer him forever. That's what I have to say about that. And so then they took on the Bullet Club. So tonight, representing the Bullet Club was the Good Brothers, Hikuleo, Chris Bay, ELP, and Scotty Norton.
Yeah, right. Random what? I forgot. Okay.
I forgot that I saw him on the card the other day. Matthew sent a tweet to our group text and was like, "Look at this," and I was like, "Oh my god, Scott Norton is on this card." What?
It was kind of fun. I was like, "All right, get some like local guy around and just like I don't know, whatever."
Yeah, and then so right at the beginning of the match, before the match started, Carl Anderson announced that Scott Norton is officially a member of the Bullet Club. So I guess he is the first official NWO and Bullet Club member, I believe. Whoa. I think that would be the first time ever.
That is some serious like need for merch.
Right?
What that is.
Yeah. Yes, somebody get on that for Scott Norton. Get on it, New Japan. Chop. Get that on him for him. He's already used to wearing the black and white, so now he just says Bullet Club. Either regardless, it's for life.
For life.
Yes, for life. So yeah, that was fun. They got Scott Norton. When he got in the match, they were chanting "You still got it" at them, and he turned and looked at the crowd, and I think he said, "I know." Or he said, "Or I know I still do," or something like that. It was great.
You know like, it?
Yeah, Scott's like, "I don't care." He's like, "Yes, please recognize this." But yeah, so this match was fun. There's a lot going on, obviously, with 12 men. We got some stuff in there where we got it was like, what was it, Cobb and Okan versus was it Good Brothers that they had in the
Good
ring?
Brothers and wait, I gotta go. This is Gallows, Phantasmo, Hikuleo, Carl Anderson, Scott Norton. But yes, we got so I think you covered. Oh yeah, wait, no, you missed Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis.
Yeah, that's Aussie Open.
Oh, okay. Then no, you didn't. You got it all. It's right there.
Yeah, so I think there was some. So
Chris Bay showed up. That's
yes,
what
he did. I love Chris Bay. I
do too. I'm a big fan.
And I love the Jay and Bay connection, which we talked about in the last episode.
All the time, yeah.
Yes, I love that.
Always and forever.
Yes, definitely. So this was Aussie Open. Were super impressive in this match. They definitely showed, because I don't think they've gotten to show a whole lot of what they can do just because of travel things, and they've been still doing stuff in Rev Pro.
Yeah.
So I think this was a really good showcase for them, and so I'd hope we get to see them on Strong. That would be really cool because they are a lot of fun and they're really, really good. So yeah, that was a really fun match. Do you have anything to add about this match?
I don't.
I do have to add. So United Empire won this match, which I think was probably the right call. I think that was something to establish that Bullet Club is not the only large faction that can. I mean, obviously there's chaos with their bazillion members as well. But they don't. But neither of those groups have Sue in them. So
well.
Only Chaos has Sue. So they are by far superior.
So they win. Sue is the best.
Scott Norton is a good person to have, but still not better than Sue.
He's not Sue.
No, definitely not. So I will say after the match, because Great Okan got on the mic and was talking, but in Japanese, and I'm pretty sure that I heard a very small "what" chant. And I think it got shut down really quick, but I was like, first of all, don't be racist.
Right.
Second of all, it's Great Okan. Again, a literal hero. Do not disrespect him like that.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We're way past that.
Yeah.
And I would hope that people that are going to a New Japan show, I mean, I'm not like, oh, we're so much better, but like, I would hope that you would be a little better than that.
Yeah. So it sounded like it wasn't like super loud, but loud enough that I'm pretty sure that's what I questioned. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was a what chant, but it sounded like it got cut. People around them must have like glared or something, because it looked like it sounded like it got shut down pretty quickly. So don't do that.
We literally have a guy on commentary that actually does translating for us at this point, like most of the time. So, I mean, that's way beyond anything. I have plenty of friends who watched back in the day when there was one option and it was the Japanese commentary.
Right,
and that's
exactly. And sometimes sometimes I will still listen to the Japanese commentary because they're awesome. They're awesome. They're very
I'm
animated.
A big Milano TV.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so much fun. And I actually just followed somebody tonight because they are translating when because Shingo is doing work, because AEW
Shingo
right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so they were translating. It came up in my timeline where they were translating what Shingo was saying, and it was really great. And he was talking about like Luchasaurus's mask and how it's similar to his mask that he wears. And he was talking, like, I heard from when they did Rampage last week, he was talking about how they chant Bebe every time somebody says Adam Cole's name, and he said he wishes he had something like that. And so and so the thread was really cool. So I was like, I'm gonna follow this person because this is awesome. So that was really cool. So yeah, so sometimes Japanese commentary is awesome, and we don't be disrespectful and racist.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Yes, not at all. So the next match, saw a little bit of it because this is when there was some more venue issues or venue signal loss issues. It's kicking me out. a lot. I didn't eat before the show, which was not smart. So I had to figure out when to go. Yeah, I did not plan because I got distracted because I was watching the end of the Braves game, and then I had a few minutes and I had a little bit of time. I should have gone to eat then because I had like a 45-minute time limit, or 45-minute window, but I was not really hungry yet, so I was like, "Oh, I'll be fine." No, I'm not an amateur. I know better.
These things happen, Sam. It's okay. Yes. You're just a human. You're allowed to go get food. Yeah, you probably didn't miss that much because of these things.
Still an animal. But so this match is one that I definitely want to go back and see because I saw the last few minutes and it was fantastic. So this match was the Chicago Street Fight.
Yep. There were lots of chairs. Lot of chairs.
Like a GCW show. It was even the main event between Hangman and Adam Cole. There was a lot of chairs in that match.
I don't know. I think they actually out-chaired them today.
Which reminds me, I saw a clip last night. Athena wrestled Taya Valkyrie. I'm not sure which indie show this was, but Athena set up like a shit ton of chairs and then put it was like she had them like lined out and then had chairs stacked on top of that, like lined out, and she put Taya through it. So
wow. So Taya's back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and so chairs have been getting a lot of work this weekend. But so this match was TMDK with Bad Dude Tito versus Finn Juice and Brody King. And so how we got to this match was, I guess, 3 New Japan Strongs ago. The first match had Brogan Finley in it, and then later on, his brother, because
Brogan got the crap kicked out of him. One of the in the main event. May not have seen some of that.
Yeah, Finn Juice was in the main event of that, and they were wrestling TMDK. Well, no, I don't think it was TMDK. They were wrestling Jonah and Bad Dude Tito, and then Brogan came out there because Shane Haste showed up. And Brogan tried to kind of even things out, and then they beat the crap out of him. Commentary says that Brogan ended up with a broken rib, I believe. So that's how we got a street fight. And then they were saying before the match started that Finley gave David a shillelagh to avenge what happened to Brogan, which was fantastic.
First of all, the shillelagh references, come on, they're like, beat his head in, and I'm like, yes, you're right.
Yes.
It reminds me of the claw in the sack for why is it escaping me right now?
You're talking about McFoley?
No, in New Japan. When he handed over, he had the claw in the bag. I forgot it. Anyway, let's keep going. Yes. But yeah, shillelaghs. There were lots of them, and this was a crazy match because there were. Dude, so Tito and Jonah are giant dudes, and Jonah is a lot. I've been watching some Impact. Really like this guy.
Yeah, see, and I liked him because I saw a little bit of him on the indies when he was Jonah Rock. Then he went to WWE and he was Bronson Reed, and they did okay with him. They did put the North American title on him for a little bit, and then he dropped the title, and then he was one of the people who was cut, and that's definitely one of those head scratchers. Jonah's pretty much everything Vince looks for. He's a huge dude who will and he's really agile. He's phenomenal. I don't understand. I mean,
I think that anyone who wants to do even at 2 high spots that side, then Vince doesn't want to have any high spots. Not that they can get
right. Which it's WWE's loss, and good for Jonah because he has definitely made the most of being cut. He's been fantastic in Impact. He's been on the Indies. He's been in Strong. He's just been doing all kinds of stuff. So I'm really happy for Jonah because he is awesome, and I'm really glad to see how well he's doing. But yeah, there was a crazy insane spot which I did see towards the end where I can't remember who was on the ladder. Was it Brody
King,
who I also think is fantastic. I love Brody King.
Well, it was nice to see all these guys kind of in here. This one was actually one of my more favorite big bunch of guys. Just, I mean,
Me
I'm
too.
not always like big on the street fights and everything, and just saw Texas Death Match and the whole thing, but this one worked.
Yeah, it really did. And I think also the story behind it, what led to it, I think made a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
sense.
probably it.
And yeah, so I thought that from what I did see of this match, I thought it was really good. It was one of the best matches of the night. But yeah, so Jonah put Brody King was on a ladder, and he just jumped on him and broke the ladder in half, probably broke Brody King in half. That man, by God, that man has a family. That ladder has a family.
Those tables had a family.
Oh, the shillelagh had a family. It just,
I think the shillelagh's doing better than just
Yeah,
about
I think
everyone,
so.
because they really enjoyed saying the word over
Yeah,
and
they sure
over.
did. It's almost like the Black Tiger. Almost. But yeah, shillelagh is a
Their
fun word to
version.
say. But yeah, so that was a really cool match. Finn Juice and Brody King won. Then we had a nice little moment with Finn Juice hugging in the ring, and then they cut to Kevin Kelly. I was watching that. So Juice is apparently most likely going to be taking some time off. It came out a few days ago that he was not probably going to re-sign with New Japan. He hasn't been an Impact in a while because he had been doing stuff with both companies. Finn Juice had the Impact Tag Team titles for a while. I love Finn Juice, but Juice Robinson is one of my favorites. I just love what he does in the ring. He's so charismatic. I've met him a couple times, and actually it was funny because I met him because he was here for PWX, and it had been it was almost 2 years later they brought him back, and he remembered me.
Wow.
So he was like, I talked to you the last time, right? And I was like, yeah, you did. And I was like, so that was really cool. So I love Juice, and and it was funny because I have a Juice Robinson shirt from when I went to, because I did go to 1 Hour Teas. They were doing, when we were at Starcast, a lot of the CM Punk and the Okada meet and greets were at 1 Hour Teas. So we were looking around in the store, and my sister found the only Finn Juice shirt they had, and it was the little bear, and he had little hats on, and I love that shirt. And so I was sitting front row in the crowd, and he said, I'm not trying to touch you. He was like, I just want to show off your shirt. So he came and he grabbed my shirt and stretched it on the side so that the camera could see it. But he was like, I'm not trying to
I'm not molesting you.
Yeah, he was like, I'm just trying to show
I'm
off
just really excited about the shirt.
Yes. So I was like, this is great. I was like, I love Juice. So anyway, so yeah, it sounds like he's taking some time off. Some people have kind of somebody was telling me they listened to the interview he did the other day, and they said that he kind of made it sound like if this was the end for him, he was happy with that. And I really hope it's not the end for him. I hope he's just gonna take some time off and come back, because Juice is fantastic. And also he has to come back because if you watch last week's episode, I pitched a match for Joey Janela's Spring Break 7 involving Juice Robinson. So maybe he at least has to come back. If he retires, please come out of retirement so I can have this match.
For that match.
Come for the juicy match.
Come for the special Sam.
Please.
The Sam booked juicy.
Yes.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that people come in and out of life, but I hope that whatever it is that he needs, he gets from this.
Yes.
And maybe some place where, maybe taking that time off will.
Yeah.
It's people's minds change. I mean,
yeah.
Life is so weird.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, we just went through a pandemic, and he wrestled a lot through that.
And he had to stay a lot because he chose to stay, and there were a lot of. It's tough.
And now he's he's engaged. He and Tony Storm are probably planning their wedding, and he's got some other things to.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I couldn't remember who it was that he was with, and
because I was extremely jealous of her.
But
and jealous of him too.
Well, yes, on both sides. I was gonna say
both of them.
I'm both. Yeah. Those are gonna be some serious badass kids.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I couldn't remember, and I try to stay away from paying too much attention to that stuff because I like to. I mean, for me, I don't need relationship angles.
And that's why it was funny because
none of my
when they were talking about Juice was not re-signing with New Japan, and I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing him at AEW as long as they don't put him and Tony against Ty and Sammy.
Yeah.
I was like, please do not do
Please
another.
don't do
Please don't do
this.
another couple thing. If you bring in
Maybe
Juice,
we should just not.
if you're gonna bring in Juice, don't make him.
Bring him in.
Don't make him and Tony be a couple on TV, please. Please don't do that.
I agree
But
with
yeah,
Sam.
so that was really fun, and I hope Juice is happy, whatever he decides. I hope he's happy and healthy and and I wish him all the best because he's wonderful. So next was the match that a lot of us were looking forward to, and it was the Usfj Open Challenge, which, if you've not been following his challenges on Strong, they've been really fun. He's wrestled a lot of cool people. He's wrestled Swerve. He's wrestled both members of Motor City Machine Gun twice. Oh, well, Chris Sabin twice. He's been answering he's had all kinds of cool challenges. So I had jokingly wanted this person, and then I saw today someone tweeted and said this person was not booked for Rev Pro tonight. Could they be in Chicago? And they were. So
I will say this, is that there is a person out there who I was talking to about who do you think this is going to happen, and I made this. I didn't see any of those reports, but I
didn't see that until today. I saw that today, but I had already said that, like, I hope this is who it is. And then,
I didn't see it, but I actually said, someone asked me, I
almost sent it to you, and I was like, I'm going to wait, and I'm not going to send it to her. I'm just going to let her, in case that's who it is.
I wish that you had, because we could have seen how close we were. We could have seen the timestamps on the time that I told, because I told a friend this, because they asked, they were like, who do you think it is? And I'm like, here's who my heart wants it to be, but I think it's going to be, but I was like, but my bold, like, amazing prediction was Shota Umino shows up finally. I know he's been working in Rev Pro. My friend has seen him because he booked an OTT.
Yeah.
So I was like, and he was like, Mel, he's got that I'm gonna be a star, big boy. Like, so his first, I guess his first level of big boy body, and he has a gimmick. And even I think there was that moment where Moxley looked at him and was like, "What are you doing standing there? Go get him, shooter." And it was just like, yeah, buddy, I was
hype.
Oh my gosh, was I happy to see this.
I was super happy.
It was a good match, and he hit he hit a drop kick where I was like, oh.
Yeah, we did. I saw it too. It was a drop kick. Yeah.
It was perfect. It was like, what a time.
This was the perfect opponent. I was so excited. Because they showed Jon Moxley, and I was like, it's not Danielson, right? Like, I mean, I would take that match. I was like, but that's not Danielson.
Of course.
And I was
there were a couple other people that it could have been, but this was like, thank you, New Japan, for the payoff.
Yeah.
Don't thank you, New Japan, for literally cutting out right before the finish.
I saw your tweet. I saw the finish. It did cut out for me.
Was like,
I saw your tweet and I was like, no.
Oh, I was so mad. It was like right as they were headed into that last series. And I could see it and I could feel it. And it was like lost signal from venue. And I'm like, lost mind.
Yeah, I hate this venue. Stupid. But yeah, it was wonderful.
I'm looking forward to rewatching that one when it is on World.
Shooter, Shooter is what I call Shota, but Shooter. But Shooter was and I'd heard some things. Some people had said, like, when he showed up at Rev Pro, like, he was, I guess, he had put on weight, but somebody had pointed out that during COVID or during the pandemic, he had a grandfather that was very sick. And I guess he was struggling. Like, I want to say that I heard that he went back home. Or maybe he couldn't go back home. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Apparently, so he did kind of put on some weight, and obviously he was grieving. And I believe that his grandfather passed away.
I bet you he was probably stuck in
Right. I can't remember the
Britain
exact
or in
details.
the UK or in the
Right.
Euros somewhere because
Right.
of where Pro
Right.
is.
And so, but then I've heard some people say, because he's gotten back into shape. He looks phenomenal. As my sister tweeted, he's a
ready to
babe.
go.
My sister tweeted, she's like, he's such a babe. I was like,
He is kind of a babe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty young for me, but oh my gosh.
Yes. So, but yes, I'd heard some things in Repro saying that he had regressed and he wasn't that good, but I don't know what the hell they were talking about and I even saw a prominent, I don't know if I should name them on Twitter, bananas. But I don't know if I should name them on here, but I saw a prominent Twitter account talking about that match and how talking about Shota versus Jay, and said that he looked okay, but he's rough around the edges and he's not going to be he's not there yet. And I'm like, I don't expect him to be at Wrestle Kingdom next year. Like, I know he's right. Who said he was ready? Nobody.
He's not wrestling in C Block. Okay. He's just
David Finlay said, hey,
relax. Maybe he'll do it. What would be good is like we've got Best of Super Juniors coming. That's a good time for him to get some undercard work. Strong is there for
that's what I was going to say. Since he is here, I hope that he is in Strong. I'd like to see him in AEW because I want him to be the 4th member of Blackpool Combat Club.
Eventually.
I would like Jon Moxley to have both of his sons, Wheeler Yuta and Shooter, under his wing.
Oh my God, that sounds like the greatest faction. That's like their chaos.
Right. Exactly. And they have William freaking Regal.
They have William Regal. Jon Moxley's always over. Bryan Danielson is going to be the champion at some point.
Right. Yuta obviously had a star-making match last week, despite what some people say.
No, I really...
No, I know.
I think that that it's... At this point, it is going to be a fun gimmick to utilize. And when he finally has to admit that he's wrong and that Wheeler Yuta has become what he couldn't because us New Japan type fans see we see the evolution.
We do.
We see that Switchblade Jay White didn't become that way overnight.
I was thinking that Jay White has not wrestled Wheeler Yuta, right? Or at least not in the Usfj. I don't think they've wrestled each other. I know Wheeler has wrestled. I know we missed some Strong stuff for a while. So I know Wheeler has been there, but I don't know that he has wrestled the Usfj or has opened the has been in the Usfj challenge. But it needs to happen because so that needs to happen. And
I actually was joking. I was like, well, it's Hook's debut on Dynamite. It'd be funny if Shooter came out and wrestled.
Oh my God, I would die.
I was like, but then wouldn't that create some sort of like, I don't know if they would like eat each other because they were like, but I was like, that'd be a fun, funny match. Like,
it would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited for that kid to be, it's awesome. He's going to be a star.
Oh, Hook is incredible. Wait, are you talking about Hook or Shooter?
Hook and Shooter, actually.
Yeah, they both are. But yeah, they both will be. Yeah, I freaking love
in different ways.
Yeah.
But maybe, I mean, they're both around similar age lines. I mean, you want to talk about the future. And actually, and that's a great point, too, is that it's so nice to see guys even. It's not like just 25 and 28 and 23. These are ready to go get everyone from Nick Wayne to Shooter. They are building an underneath a program, which I mean, baseball and hockey and all of those sports will tell you that
they all have
building your farm system is, and people follow it.
Yeah, they do. I do. I follow minor league stuff. So yeah, and I think, and it goes back to what we were talking about last week when we were talking about how they kind of utilize the Young Lion philosophy, where they're pairing them with veterans and things like that. And I even, because I thought about it afterwards, I was like, oh, I didn't even mention Team Taz. Team Taz is that's literally what they are. It's Ricky and Powerhouse and Hook, and that he's
that match was so good.
Oh my God, it was. That match was phenomenal.
It's one of my favorite matches of the week.
Yeah, I cannot get over that spot where Swerve used Keith Lee's chest and bounced off. what? When I saw it, I literally said, "What the fuck was that?" I said, "What the fuck, Swerve?" This is what I said.
It's amazing.
Just
It was great.
And the GIF came up and I just kept watching it like on loop
Over and
because
over.
I couldn't believe that he did it. And then even the picture that, because I tweeted it the other day from AEW, it was a picture of him like on Keith Lee's chest, and I was just like, how did this happen? Like, it's incredible. But so anyway, yeah. So Jay versus Shooter was good. Jay obviously got the win. Even though Shooter came really close a couple times. They made Shooter look really good.
Yeah, they did.
So I'm very pleased with that. That makes me think that they're still, they have plans for him. Hopefully in Strong, hopefully in AEW. I hope he's not going back to Rev Pro right away, but if he's got a whole little gimmick there, then maybe he is. But so then the next match was basically just a hot fight.
Smash Fest.
Yeah, it was incredible. So it was Ishii versus Menorah Suzuki, and they said it was the first time they had faced each other in 2 years since G1. Was what Kevin Kelly said.
Oh, but that's probably about right.
Yeah. So, and then they were talking about how these two men just basically hate each other.
Well, I mean, they're kind of like a weird. He's like the skinny version, and Ishii's like the rock version of sort of the same like strong style, beat the crap out of each other guy.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. This match was fun. It was exactly what I expected, and even more. Really, it was just like at one point the match wasn't even over, and they got a standing ovation.
Yeah,
and they got a fight forever chant. The match wasn't even over, and it was just
they could fight forever. Actually,
they really could. I mean, one of them might. I don't know, this forearm, and it was just great because they were just hitting forearm after forearm, but then like they just weren't like they wouldn't budge. Like it was just this big like ego and pride thing where like you're not gonna knock me down. And then it was great because they were hitting forearms and then they both staggered backwards into their respective corners. Like finally they wore each other down at the same time, and it was such a good match. It was funny because I will say when Suzuki came out, commentary did not say a word because when Suzuki wrestled on Dynamite, JR talked over Kaze Ninare again. And I was like, this is another Suzuki incident. Because I told my sister, I was like, he's telling that same damn story about how he had breakfast with him one time. JR, we know this story. I'm jealous of you. I am glad you had breakfast, but please shut the hell up. Cut his damn mic. I think I yelled cut his mic like 4 times. It's like, cut his mic. Cut it. And then he's like talking through it. What does Kaze Ninare mean? And then Chris Charlton actually answered because Excalibur, I guess, couldn't remember and he got it wrong. And Chris Charlton tweeted, shut up, I mean, his Excalibur and told him what it meant. Like, if you're gonna disrespect him,
I think he tweeted it, and then later on in the match, for no apparent reason, Excalibur was like, "He became the wind," and I'm like, "It's too late now, man. He's too late.
I guess he just
you missed it. It's over.
It's over.
Moment. I'm sorry,
so I was like, wow. I was like, look at them being respectful. I was like, even in GCW, they got it right. Like they were
GCW, like those shows we were watching. It's like the overhead audio, and I'm like, they're doing it.
Yeah, they were quiet. They didn't. They either, I think a couple of them maybe spoke for a little bit. Then basically, once he got to the ring, they stopped. But there was one, I can't remember which show it was. They shut up. Like literally, as soon as his music hit, they didn't say a word until the crowd got to say Kaze Ninare with him. And it was like, and it was and because Matt spoke about it tonight, and he was talking about how cool it was to experience it live. And when I saw him in October, I finally got to do it, and it was such a cool experience to finally like get to do the thing. And now you get to do the thing soon.
I get to do it fully. They did like a mini version of it at the ROH because they had a big like sort of showcase Rumble deal. It was fine. It was like whatever. But I mean, we got a little of it, but I'm just like, everybody better shut the hell up in that place, or there's going to be one more death match that night.
I know, that's right. Yes, I was ready to death match JR.
I may be small, but
like, shut up, JR. Just stop. But yeah, so this match was fantastic. Ishii actually was the one who got the win with a brainbuster. So that was really cool. It was a great match. It was one of the best matches of the night. I loved that match. Then right before fight decided to cut out again, we got a big surprise because the music cut and cameras went to the ring. And what did we see? We got some Eddie Kingston came out, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like,
he even made I walk the key. He said, I walk the King's Road. I'm like, man, you're saying that to some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, well, you walk, my friend, because I am excited for that match.
Yeah, I was super excited.
You're welcome, DC. You get that.
Yeah.
Match.
So is this on Fight TV? This, I would think a match that big has to be like.
Gotta imagine if they're gonna keep doing this, they're
gonna because there's a it's a DC show, and is it Philly? Is that the other show? The other city?
I know there is another Philly show coming because it's got a bunch of stuff on it that's really awesome. And my friends have like exhausted their resources. They've been to so many. I'm like, I haven't even been to one.
Right? Yeah. So the stupid Fight TV thing broke out, and like it went out, and then it started back, and it rewound like where Eddie came out, and then like he gets in the ring, and it cuts out again. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then so I didn't get to hear like most of what he said. I just knew that that he said that Suzuki, or not Suzuki, that Ishii agreed, and so. That we're getting that match, and I really hope it's somewhere that I can watch it, even if it's on. I'd almost prefer it to be on World at this point with the Japanese commentary, so I can see it and not have to have Fight TV cut out every 3 seconds. But yeah, so that match is going to be amazing. So I'm really excited for that. And then we got to our main event. It's time for the main event. So the main event was Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley, and Kevin Kelly had a really cool stat that Jon Moxley is undefeated in singles competition since he lost his IWGP US Championship to Lance Archer. He was 20-0 coming into this match as a singles wrestler, which I thought was pretty impressive. We all know Will Ospreay has been crying about how he doesn't have how his titles get taken away, and now he wants the US title, and
he demanded to have it. I demand it.
And that did not work out because there's something that happens, but we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, so this match was really, really, really good. Yeah. I believe that I tweeted that it was a banger because it was a bloody banger. Because we got some blood pretty early. Well, we got the Oz cutter, which was crazy, and then I actually missed the spot because I went to go put something up because I was trying to make sure that I had this cleaned up so that we could do this live stream. So I was like, and I knew that was gonna happen because I was like, oh, they're early on in the match. I'll probably be okay. And my sister was like, oh my god, you
left. What are you doing?
No, I left. Actually, that's a lie. I left a little bit later because I did see Will Ospreay throw the chair straight at Jon Moxley's face, and Jon started bleeding immediately, like just crimson mask within the 2 seconds of that chair.
I don't know where these guys get all this blood to bleed all over the place,
or how they have any left, because Moxley bled like 18 times. They're in Mania week. Blood sport. Then but he was actually making people bleed too. He made Biff bleed, and he made a lot of people. He made AJ Gray bleed. Do you think that
like if you lower somebody else's, yours like raises, so it balances out?
Maybe so. Maybe that's how it works for Moxley. I don't know. But yeah, so this match was really cool. They were basically just threw every single possible move they had. They were kicking out of each other's finishers at not even at one, like it was like a half of that, and they were let's see, Will went through well, he didn't before they even got to the announce table stuff. He got thrown onto the ring. Well, that's where the chair thing happened. So yeah, so it was just, they were all over the place. They were in the crowd. They were just, it was insanity, which,
Moxley match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is expected. This is basically, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's not, so it's like AEW, New Japan, Indie Mox, like each place he turns it up, like, And like he's crazy in AEW.
He is crazy. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. He's just
he is crazy. I mean,
he just becomes like, it's like Moxley over here in AEW, and then you got Death Rider, which is sort of like, which I mean, I kind of like that. Like, you get the same thing with Chris Jericho a little bit, that like, although I think Moxley's a little better at it for some reason, because he really does feel like he puts on a whole new hat.
Yeah.
But Painmaker versus, whatever, but
right.
Mox is really good at that.
He just turns it up. So even like, so his New Japan's like a step up, and then it's like, it's weird because New Japan's like his place between AEW and GCW and like his indie stuff that he does. Like,
he respects it a lot too. I'm in the midst of, I just started his book.
I have got to get that book.
And I'm doing this thing where it's so good that I know I'm going to sit and read it way too fast, and I don't want to be finished with it that fast. So I put it aside.
Good for you. Yeah. I really need to read it.
I mean, I have read a bunch of the stuff about just the G1 stuff, and
that's cool.
He's legit. That guy's cool.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
And listen, you guys, he's not ever going back to WWE. I need y'all to stop that. He's not. I know Cody did. I know
is dead. He's dead.
Yeah, he killed him. Listen. I know Cody went back and nobody expected that. But listen.
That's such an enormous difference.
Jon Moxley he's doing all kinds of things. He's very happy with what he's doing. Please stop saying he's going back, because it is not happening. Like, they sent him a contract. They sent him an offer, and he didn't even open the damn envelope.
Look at it. He didn't even look at it.
He doesn't care. He's not going back. Please stop.
He's happy.
He's very happy. And also, you wouldn't want to do anything that might risk his sobriety.
I agree with that. What a great point.
I was like, I'm not saying that WWE is the reason why. No, however, it definitely factored into.
Not going to help.
Yes, exactly. So I would not wish him to do anything that would risk that. So if that means staying away from WWE forever, then do it. But so this match was incredible. The ending was very odd. Was sort of like, because they kept throwing out the idea that it might be a ref stoppage because they were both bleeding profusely. They've been bleeding for a very long time. So it was getting a little something. They were definitely losing some blood. And so then Jon Moxley did 2 Death Riders in a row, and then it ended. So I thought it was a ref stoppage, but then some people were saying that Ospreay tapped because he heard the bell ring. But then because that's what Kevin Kelly was saying, and then somebody was like, well, did he kick out? So I think they did I don't think the ref screwed up. I don't think that's what happened. I think it's setting up, because this is how he beat ZSJ. So it seems like this is a pattern now.
Yeah, with the tapping and the I didn't tap.
Right. So
because there was so much. Yeah, that was a big one.
Miley's here. She's
awake. Hi, Miley.
She's been sleeping. She's like, all my sisters do is watch wrestling and baseball. But yeah, so I think the ending was definitely going to set up for Moxley versus Ospreay 2. I thought maybe I was like, well, maybe we'll get it at the DC show. Oh, no. Moxley has other plans. Moxley has called out Hiroshi Tanahashi. And I'm here for it.
Oh.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just coughing. Just getting a cough right in the middle of trying to make a point about how awesome that is. Because, yes, please.
Even though he said Tanahashi has a stupid ponytail, which is a lie.
He called out Tana's hair.
He did. I'm like, yeah, because he said we could do this. He said we could do this the easy way or the hard way, and then to make it the easy way, he just threatened him or not threatened him, but disrespected his beautiful hair. And so I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I think that means it's time to go, because you can say a lot of things, but you don't get to run around saying Hiroshi Tanahashi's hair is stupid or whatever.
Yeah, no, we don't say that here, Mox. I love you, but that is too far.
No one says that. Okay, stop. All right.
So this was it. I really hope the DC show is going to be, I mean, I guess if it's on Fight TV, it's on Fight TV, but I hope it's somewhere where we can watch it because it's shaping up to be a really good card. Seems like New Japan's really hitting its groove again, like we've talked about the last few weeks. It seems like they're firing on all cylinders, just with, the main shows in Japan. Strong has been really strong. No pun intended. It has really been strong.
No, but it has.
Jay's doing his thing over on Impact too, where he's on a whole other level right now with his Switchblade era is just incredible. It seems like the fans are getting really into things. They're having a hard time not cheering, and now we have AEW is showing up on New Japan World, and so we have Shingo like checking out stuff. And Shingo, when I was reading that thread, Shingo was saying that when he was here in Ring of Honor, he didn't get to face like the bigger name people, and so like one of the people he really wanted to wrestle was Samoa Joe, and he said, so I really hope I can go to America and wrestle some talent over there that I didn't get to the last time. And so I really want that to happen because
Shingo, I said I really want that too, Shingo.
Yeah. Me too, Shingo. I love Shingo Takagi and I would love to see him. I would love to see him. Which I told you I want Samoa Joe in G1. I've said it like 48 times. Good
for him though.
We had a G1 match with Suzuki and Samoa Joe last on Dynamite, so wherever it happens. So I hope they bring Shingo Takagi over and just let him wrestle whoever the hell he wants, because I will see it. I will watch whoever he wrestles.
Absolutely.
I don't care. Bring him to us, Tony Khan, or whoever. Bring him to Strong. I don't care. Bring him to Strong and let him run through the Young Lions. I don't care. I mean, they might.
I actually started joking that it's time to get some undercard, like some of the guys from Dark and Elevation on there. If you're going to keep bringing Suzuki out there,
yeah,
you're going to have to throw one or two Young Lions out there to make it just a little more authentic.
Yeah, definitely. Just make him face the factory.
But I mean, he'll be going back. He'll be going back to Japan after the end of the month.
Sure. Or whatever. And also that reminds me, I tweeted. I said, when do we get Ishii versus Effie? Since I got Effie versus Suzuki, let's have Effie. I don't know if Effie wants me volunteering him for murder like that, but I did.
Yeah. I think that that's a fair point. It's like, it's on her. I still don't have like 100% set card, so I'm very interested to see what.
That's going to be
my card for GCW, which will be a week from it's Saturday.
So you're getting really close. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know. So Effie and Alley Catch have the tag titles now. They won them last.
Seeing both of them are on the thing.
Yeah, so that's cool. That will be good. But yes, I'm sure you're going to have some really cool stuff, and I'm very excited for you. And hopefully
I'll get to actually talk about it because I'll be talking on Sunday.
I can't wait. So I guess that's pretty much it for us. We've got to head on out because it's late, and also somebody needs to use the stream.
If you stick around, you get to see more wonderful content from this channel right here.
You do, exactly. And if you haven't already, subscribe. If you wanna live a little on the wild side, hit the notifications little bell, and it'll tell you when there's new content.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
I'm sorry, I have to say.
Smash it like Suzuki and
Powerbomb it.
Duh.
Oh, that's what we should have seen. That's what we should have said. Powerbomb that subscribe button.
Oh God, now we're gonna be saying this all the time. And also, while you're powerbombing things, please powerbomb Powerbombshells on Twitter. You can powerbomb us. Our names are not us exactly, but on Twitter.
They are here now.
Our ats are
there. You go. That's us right there. Or
yes.
just at Powerbombshells, and you can get the rest from there. But
and we retweet, what else Fight Game Media. So we make sure you're following Fight Game Media because they work really hard to put out a shit ton of content for you all the time. We will probably be back on our regularly scheduled thing next week. And so we just wanted to make sure this was taken care of. Thank you. Somebody said that we had a great show. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. You want to pop that up there real quick?
I will.
Yay.
That's nice.
Thank you. Thank you for staying with us.
Thanks for staying up. Hey.
Yes, we appreciate that. So we'll be back next week. Probably, like I said, our regularly scheduled time. You can catch this on the replay if you like watching it again.
Happy Easter if you celebrate. That's part of the reason we wanted to make sure everything was taken care of. So
yes. So
right.
thank you. And if not, if you don't, have a happy Sunday. Have a good weekend. Have a good week. Hope you watch some cool wrestling. Yes. It's Ramadan as well.
There you go.
So there's a lot going on. So if you celebrate any of those, I hope that you have a lovely day. If not, have a lovely Sunday. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.